Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Already know what to do. We're not going to ask you again. We're going to go right into it on this Thursday. I just want to start out by saying, remember that PCE is coming out tomorrow, and we don't want to spend all of our money and catch a falling knife. But we did do some buying today, and I'm happy with the positions that we did in our new portfolio. That's in Money Moves. Come join us. Top link below. But also, people were asking on yesterday's live, "Hey Larry, could you teach us about warrants?" I did. It's in Stock Up You. It's in Stock Up You. If you have Stock Up You, one of the people that asked said, "Hey, I got Stock Up You, blah, 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 blah. When are you going to add warrants?" Well, there is a lesson about everything you need to know about warrants is in Stock Up You already, okay? So let's go. Nasdaq, we could see that it is down. And how much is it down? It's down by 144 points at this time. Now, I told people on yesterday, I'll play the 30-second clip. So it opened up and then it fell, right? And it fell hard, right? Then it ran up and then it fell again. It fell real hard. You guys see that. It fell more than 200 points, okay? Not percent, points. So it fell by 200 points. Larry, how do I trade the NASDAQ then? That is ticker symbol QQQ, which tracks the NASDAQ. I showed it on this morning's video that was live. So you'll see a video that comes up in this box in your upper right-hand corner when this is finished. That video is called the end screen. We'll share with you what I discussed this morning. So I suggest that you probably should watch that. Okay. So now, good people, I am going to share with you a 30-second clip of what I just said on Stocks with Josh's live on last night. Okay, good people. So I want you guys to give this a listen. Listen, the market is frothy. I let my followers know that I'm expecting another 200%. I'm sorry, 200 points off of the Nasdaq, meaning the Nasdaq.
Whew,
I'm
it's a
expecting it
lot.
to cool off. Yes, I'm expecting it to cool off by another 200 points on top of. So I said I'm expecting it to cool off. That was just last night on the Stock Squad Live. I said I was expecting it to cool off another 200 points on top of what it already cooled off to. Now, we see this morning that what? It has happened. So it has already cooled off. Already cooled off. So now I want you guys to listen to some of the stock we discussed last night. And this is how you make your positions known, okay, to the market, okay? So we talked about Rigetti last night. Now, I am more put off by these warrants because of the price, right? But as you could see, the spread is less. You guys will know what I'm saying. So Rigetti stock is up by 3%. This is today, right now, while the market is selling off. But Rigetti warrants are up by 5%. Not double, but 1.5, and then it's going to start to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And then at some point, it's better to buy the stock and not the warrants. So don't just think it's just one size fit all. It's not. And as you can see, that's today. Now, we're looking for, and I'm going to play you a video from Mr. Tom Lee, and we're going to kind of break stuff down, right? So look, here's what I want you to also understand. These other, and they've been talking about these on CNBC, these other quantum computing stock are all down, all down. Look at that. Quantum, you can see that, down 4%. D-Wave, 4%. SoundHound, 8%. IONQ, 6%. Applied Digital Corp, 4.2%. Or should I say AI-based / quantum computing stock are all getting hammered today, while Rigetti is still going up. Okay. So now there's going to be compression that happens. So there's going to be a shakeout. And that shakeout is that every one of these are not going to make it. Just like chips. Look at what happened to NVIDIA over the last 2 years. Okay. NVIDIA was the clear winner and it shook out the other chips. And some of the chips actually started to fall. And the same thing is going to happen in the area of AI and quantum computing. I want you to listen to what Mr. Tom Lee said.
And now let's welcome in FundStrat's Tom Lee, a CNBC contributor. It's good to have you back. I know you love this trade, but what do you make of what Mr. Griffin had to say?
Well, I agree with him. You know, we're in a period where there is a super cycle and exponential growth opportunities within AI. But it doesn't mean every company that has an elevated valuation today deserves to actually have the capital, and that company may not even reinvest that capital properly to be a survivor. So I agree there is going to eventually be a shakeout, but I think valuations, strangely enough, are actually pretty reasonable today.
So now, Ken Griffith, a lot of people think he's evil. He said that there's going to be a shakeout, and he says this looks like the dot-com bubble of the 90s, but there's going to be a shakeout, and some will win, to put things in perspective, all right? So back to Tom Lee.
Compared to 1998, because, 1998 was that liftoff point before that final 18-month surge. And I'd say the best benchmark is NVIDIA trades at 26 times forward earnings. Cisco at that same exact moment was at 60 times. And Cisco's PE peaked at 210 times forward earnings. So NVIDIA, to me, is still a bargain at 26 times. It's cheaper than Costco and Walmart, which are close to 50 times forward earnings.
So now I'm going to share with you a portfolio that I've shared here time and time again that's in Money Moves, a portfolio that I have that is AI heavy. And to be honest with you, this portfolio is in a Roth IRA, okay? So it is tax-free, right? And it is up a lot. Let's just put it that way. But I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to say because I know some of you have difficult choices to make, decisions. So we could see USAR, that's a mining type of deal, minerals. It's been quietly pumping up 61%. Hindsight, okay, we got some Uber in there, but look, Sound down 7%, but up 40, right? Rigetti is up, like we just said. QUBT is down 3% for the day, but still up 62%. And this is why there's times when you need to hold and times to sell. QUBT down 4% today, but overall up 75%. Oklo, which is energy, okay, it is down 7%. We'll call that, but up 50%. IONQ, we could see that. What? You could see down, let's call that 5.5%, but up 71%. Here is where I want to show you I put my money where my mouth is. Look at the top in cash. I got a pile of cash still ready to buy the dips. That's what I wanted to share with you guys, right? That's one of my portfolios. Now, I want to help to lead you guys, not just into being rich, but to be wealthy, okay? So Keenan and I were talking about this last night. Now, I've been in this game for a long time. I got in 92. So, and I got out because I lost, but the stuff that I learned is a moneymaker. So I'm going to go through a few notes that I made. There will be a shakeout. We talked about that. Ken Griffith says there's echoes of a bubble of 92 to .com. But he also went on to say, but there were some clear winners, and no one truly knows at this time. There will be some winners. How you pick them for now, I am in a lot of them. I don't expect every one of those quantum computing stock to make it. Some of them are going to fall by the wayside. Some of them I will put stop losses on, and we'll just go off of that. Okay. So the Fed said that stocks are fairly highly valued. So just like my man Keenan says, what the heck does that mean? Is it fair or is it high? Right? And so he was right. Okay. So Tom Lee thinks that stocks are fairly valued, like he just said. He thinks that they're fairly valued, and the Fed thinks that they are fairly highly valued. All right. So I want you to listen to this part of what Mr. Lee had to say.
That, like JP Morgan Asset Management's Michael Sembalist brought to us today from his report. And he's good at what he does, okay? Quote, AI-related stocks have accounted for 75% of S&P 500 returns, 80% of earnings growth, and 90% of capital spending growth since
75% of S&P growth is from AI stock. AI, good people. All right, let's go.
GPT launched in November of 2022. Now, some would say, well, obviously, and all of that might be justified, but those are large numbers, 80% of earnings growth and 90% of capital spending growth since ChatGPT launched in November of 2022. Now, some would say, well, obviously, and all of that might be justified, but those are large numbers. Those are really large numbers that have carried a boatload of the weight of this move in the market since then.
Yeah, and that's a moment in time, Scott. I mean, just to give some perspective, NVIDIA is about 8% of the S&P 500 market cap weight, but it is also 7% of the earnings. So it's not necessarily distorting equity valuations. And in terms of what companies are excited about, you know, if companies are saying that AI is something where they're actually allocating capital, and many are, of course, are seeing productive gains, I think it's justified that that would be what you'd expect to be the first wave of investment and spending is around directly into the ecosystem. But of course, over time, we'd expect that spending then to deliver productivity gains and other benefits. So that means if AI, and you know, I'm comfortable with the idea it's a super cycle, we should see a broadening of the benefits and then also the broadening of opportunities over time. So it's probably a moment.
So a broadening of the benefits, meaning a broadening out instead of it being just AI or just a few stock. He's saying that it will broaden out to more stocks, okay, and to cover more. And I get it, all right? There was something I was trying to find for you guys, but I can't get it, all right? But listen, this is a time for you to look at your positions, okay? And you have to make a decision, not get freaked out, okay? Make a decision, just like I showed you guys with this portfolio. Some of these are going bye-bye, and it's not going to be popular when I sell them. Probably hold on to Oklo, but at some point I may sell some QUBT, all right, some QBTS, even some Rigetti. Who knows, all right? At some point, I'm going to let my family know that I'm selling. And you know what? It may continue to run, but you got to make a decision. You got to have an exit plan. If you get into the market without an exit plan, you're planning on failing, right? So I just wanted to come on and give you guys what's happening. So tomorrow morning, we have PCE an hour before the stock market opens. This market has been a falling knife, and we want to see if, in fact, the knife is still going to fall, or did we get the fall today? At some point today, the Nasdaq was a negative 200, over 250 points at one point, but it started to rebound, and then it ends down 116 points. So roughly about 0.5%. So the Nasdaq is going to close at roughly around 0.5% down, okay, which is roughly 100 points. Now, I said on yesterday that I expect what? 200 points for the Nasdaq to be negative. So we regained after the data came out. What data? We had more jobs that came out this morning, and that's what I was looking for. And then we had GDP, okay? And so those two things came out this morning, and it, you know what? I know exactly where it is. So I just stole this from Money Moves, okay? Initial jobless claims, 218K versus 235K estimate. So it came in lighter than expected, and then we had a Q2 real GDP, gross domestic product, at positive 0.3. Sorry about that. You guys saw that. Positive 0.3.8 versus 3.3% estimate, okay? And so there you have it. That was the data that actually the pre-markets were already down, and this forced the pre-markets down even further. Now, PCE, will it continue to push the market down tomorrow morning? Are we buying and catching a falling knife? That's why I did not spend all of my money on this dip. Why, Larry? Because the Nasdaq, a lot of the stock that you're in, and I want you to check. I want you guys that are especially new, and some of you have been trading for 5 years and you really don't know this. Find out what your stock are in. Is it heavy in the Nasdaq? Is it heavy in the Dow or the S&P 500, right? You're going to see a lot of them are in both, right? Or plural, or some of them are in all three. But I want you to check and see what it's heavy in. If it's tech heavy, then that's the Nasdaq. How do you trade that? QQQ. And if you're too tech heavy, on days like this, you get beat way down. So you need to be diversified, okay? And all thy getting, get an understanding, all right? All right, good people, I'm going to leave it right there. It's a lot to get into. I don't even have time to go into crypto. I may make a crypto video either probably tomorrow morning. I may make a crypto video and then a stock video. Come and join us here at Money Moves so you could see all of my plays, my long-term portfolio that I just started here in Money Moves with stocks. And then you guys, I posted today what I'm buying in crypto. And but I'm learning that most of you need to be in stock up you. There's a one-time payment you could use, I believe, Affirm or Klarna, and you can buy now, pay later, or you can break it up into 4 payments. All right, so use that and then use the code. Okay, you'll see when you click the link, there's a coupon code there already. I'm starting early for Black Friday. I want you guys to get an understanding because there's a lot of money to be made in this market, whether it goes down, sideways, or go up. We continue to make money. All right, we will see you tomorrow. Live, love, laugh, and learn.